Hi, welcome to Digital Leadership. As I'm talking about the FTX fiasco, this is the part 2 of that. Hope you saw my first video and this one. I'm going to talk about what other media, other exchanges, including Bloomberg, what they reported and what Binance said, what CoinDesk reported, what are the other, kind of important online portals reported. I'm going to talk about that. So the first one, I given an introduction about what is FTX and where they started and who are, when they're launched, how it become, in this, I'm going to talk about just what Bloomberg reported in September 2022 on the close relationship between Alameda Research and FTX. So this was kept like kind of a surprise, and they know that something is there, but nobody is told what is the kind of the figures. When it comes to the I would say the shares, equity, partnership, that was a kind of unclear for many. So Bloomberg noted that Alameda had functioned as a market maker for FTX early in the exchange's history, and that trading firm remained. So this was, they reported in their online portal. So in June, July, the 2022, the biggest known depositor of stable coins on FTX is, so that's a kind of question, and given a lot of, including Binance, surprised with that information, so then they also said, Bloomberg said that the regulatory oversight which applies to companies operating in traditional equities markets would have prohibited the relationship between the two firms were it applicable. So, the thing is, Alameda Research is trading on FTX that means it's potentially in a position to gain, financially when other lost money on the exchange, so kind of, and also the CEO Bankman Fried, he defended Alameda's use of FTX as a liquidity provider. So he is safeguarded there, so that is going to be, since you defended something, you need to justify now, now, things have changed, a lot of questions been asked, you need to reply. So, and also, according to John J. Ray, Alameda had a secret exemption from FTX auto liquidation protocol. So later, the existence of such an undisclosed beneficial relationship was described by Ray, who's the new CEO of FTX, as a complete failure of corporate controls and indicated gross mismanagement. So this is a kind of a tricky thing. So where, it's a new CEO of FTX revealed some of the information, so, and also said between early 2021 and March 2022, Alameda Research amazed crypto tokens ahead of FTX announcing the decision to list them for trading. So these are all companies do that, to be safe. But at the same time, now, what they have done is, whose money, what is it? Like they need to answer, because when everything is fine, nobody questions you. When things goes wrong, a lot of questions being asked and they have to respond. So, and also same like that, what I told is it's more on the Bloomberg side of it, and also in Wall Street Journal, they mentioned that FTX has lent 10 billion of its customer assets to Alameda Research in 2022. So then at the same time, Alameda CEO Caroline Ellison disclosed to other Alameda employees that she, Sam Bankman, Gary Wang, Nishat Singh knew about that decision. So these kind of things are, she already mentioned. So everything is there online. I'm not saying that is there online. So Wall Street Journal also has some, where the funds have been used. They say that Ellison said that funds were used in part to pay back loans Alameda has taken to make investments. So the new CEO, said that FTX used software to conceal the misuse of customer funds. So these are all tricky. It's already been recorded online. You need to be really careful. So after so many months of Bloomberg's report on the relationship between the two firms, so on November 2022, CoinDesk reported that a significant portion of Alameda Research assets were held in FTT. The exchange token issued by FTX, it said that there were 5.1 billion US dollar worth of FTT tokens in circulation, and that Alameda's balance sheet held almost 3.66 billion US dollar of unlocked FTT. So a lot of these questions are going to be asked by the federal government. Whoever invested, they're all going to ask this. Why the crisis? Where it began? What is going to happen now? So as I said, Wall Street Journal, then Bloomberg, then CoinDesk, it can be wrong, it can be right. So I would say there is no smoke without a fire. So that's the thing. And then when the crisis started, so when Binance sold, they did the FTT sell off and withdraw the they withdrawn their rescue bid. They were supposed to acquire FTX, and something went wrong. They said we are no more anything to acquire FTX. That's a kind of a bomb. I would say that is almost like a kind of nail in the coffin. So after the publication of CoinDesk article, the Binance CEO, so Changpeng said that on Twitter that his firm intend to sell all its holdings of FTT. So Binance had received all FTT from FTX in 2021 during the transaction, which FTX bought back Binance equity stake in FTX, Binance equity stake in FTX. So all this revelation came to light after Bloomberg, TechCrunch, Wall Street Journal. So these all the kind of so on November, I think Bloomberg called the acquisition of FTX by Binance unlikely due to the poor state of FTX finances. So Binance openly said on 9th of November 2022, the finances, the books of FTX are, it's a poor state or indiscipline, or looks like something is going to happen. So that's the kind of a warning sign given by Binance. So at the same time, reported that the United States Securities and Exchange Commission and Commodity Futures Trading Commission were investigating the nature of FTX's connection to other holdings and its handling of clients' funds. It's not just one day work. So much of funds been it's all in online, all can be tracked, but at the same time, a lot of people has to be questioned who are invested. Many of them, I think a lot of skeletons are going to come down. So a lot of questions going to be asked, and that's the thing. It gives a kind of a negative impression on the crypto industry as such. When you're kind of an indisciplined comes into that, you can be an experienced person, it can be an experience, but at the same time, the industry is not experienced. The industry is new. It's still evolving. Crypto is still evolving. Every day, the technology, the disruption, transformation, the technology, the hacking, the malwares, all the negativity also happening at the site. So we need to be very careful. There's no proper framework from any financial institutions or governments. It's pretty tough because, as I said earlier, it's been evolved and things have gone to so we need to see what is, so what are the kind of things, make this bankruptcy, what worsen this crisis, and what are the unauthorized transactions happened during, before the crisis, or the bankruptcy, or after, or during, and all that they're going to be checking that, so I think they were talking with a lot of rescue deals and nothing happened. Even just few days before, the CEO says, just few days before a crypto exchange of this caliber, they're trying to fundraise. They know there is a problem is happening, but they cannot tell outside due to the brand value and all that is going to affect their valuation of the tokens, so there are people involved, not just one person, not just Bankman. There are people like Gary Wang, Rio. All people they'll be questioned. At the same time, whatever I'm saying is based on the information available online. Maybe once the report comes, once the authorities say, then the court is going to decide it. So I'm just giving a comment or passing, whatever available information online. So as a thing, I would say it's a kind of, I would say it's a sad story. It can happen. Many financial institutions fail. Likewise, crypto also, it's not, it cannot be. It's all vulnerable. Crypto also vulnerable. Of course, the growth was pretty fast. At the same time, maybe you will see a few more exchanges can follow, because this industry is such like that. The framework is still, so there are mystery behind this industry. So that's why many of the governments and many of the countries still don't acknowledge crypto as a currency or a kind of a transaction modes. So they're still doing it carefully to an extent, so FTX as a whole, I would say it's a crypto exchange, a failed crypto exchange due to indiscipline, due to manipulation, due to the kind of greediness also can be another thing. And also the markets, the trends, the industry, I would say the whole economy also affected, so I would say it's a kind of a corporate collapse. I would say it's not just one person. It should be a corporate collapse. Maybe they could have, they're moving from location from, to kind of for Hong Kong, from former headquarters, and they change. So a lot of questions will be asked. What is the reason? And I think now all the law firms behind that will be very busy. And definitely, I think it's people lost a lot of money. I'm very sad for that. It's very unfortunate. And I hope all the government will learn a lesson. What FTX has happened, it's a learned lesson. It's kind of a bloodbath in the crypto industry. Still, it's going to take a lot of time. It's just whatever you heard from FTX so far, maybe it's just 20%, maybe 80 more percent going to come, all the negative things, who have lost money. A lot of top investments firms, are being successful. They've lost money in this. So it's going to be very, very challenging times for many of the crypto exchanges. I never know. Maybe a few more exchanges might get closed down, shut down, or file for bankruptcy, or it'll be like suddenly vanish from the online thing. So we need to be very careful. So whatever I spoke in this part 2 is just kind of what are the things happen, what all other media has reported. I'm not reporting. I mean, whatever other media have said, and also there is no fire and there's no smoke without a fire, so there is some fire somewhere. Let's see how it is going to be interesting. It can take a month or 2, maybe even a year. Never know. It can even, so this is going to affect in a longer run. While the economy is already in a downturn, a lot of kind of inflation, a lot of issues happening in a traditional economy. At the same time, a lot of people thought crypto can be an alternative, but I doubt, still crypto is still kind of having some of its own weaknesses, some of its challenges, so the relationship between the crypto and the government. So that has to be, because still many crypto exchanges want to decentralize, move away from the government. But I doubt, because if you want to do something, you're using public's money, then it should be aligned with the government, because government is for the public. So they're answerable for the public. So government try to safeguard. In countries like US, Singapore, they have proper framework where they safeguard the public's money. So naturally, they are answerable. So they don't want any of the citizens to lose their money. So a lot better framework has to come, going to come. When I'm waiting when government is going to approve, so while they need to sit with the exchanges or the crypto people behind, some of the leading people behind, how to track, how to find the issues, how to make it more government friendly, more, I would say, of course, decentralized is fine. At the same time, public's money cannot be lost and say that there is, it's vanished. It's not, someone has to be taken responsible. So we need to have proper guideline, escrow framework, safeguards public money, and that's going to happen. So I think more or less I'm done with whatever I told you, whatever happened in FTX, and I hope and wish in the future, you don't get these kind of bankruptcy or listen to these kind of news, which pulls down the entire crypto industry or the blockchain industry. Of course, blockchain is not affected, but at the same time, it's a bit affected. These kind of news bring down that. So thank you so much. Thank you for passing by Digital Leadership. So subscribe to our channel. So you're going to hear more from us on various emerging technologies, trending topics where technology is involved. Thank you so much. My name is Bernard.